we are calling our students rising entrepreneurs. And the whole point is, get them in, keep them in, empower them, restore them, support them, refine them, and then unleash entrepreneurs when they leave us.
Right.
So we are developing rising entrepreneurs, and it's with those three components that are encompassed by having the E-mindset.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Brighter Together podcast. My name is Janet Courtney, and my special guest today is Rose Bomentre. Rose is the superintendent at Real Journey Academies, which is in the Inland Empire in California. Rose, it is so great to have you here. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So tell everybody a little bit, Rose, about your journey as a superintendent and about Real Journey.
So just a little bit about my background. I was a teacher, a school counselor, an administrator. I was a high school principal, and then I became the director of student wellness and support services. After that, I became an assistant superintendent with CTE within career technical education at an ROP. And then I came to Real Journey Academies January of 2024 as their superintendent. And it's been a little over a year and a half. And this is the second school year that I'm starting with Real Journey Academies. I've appreciated my experience, and we're continuing to expand. And so
Awesome.
as you're asking me questions, we're in the middle of rebranding Real Journey Academies. And so my response is always going to be grounded in our E-mindset foundation, which is E-balance, E-knowledge, and E-futures.
Awesome. So let's talk about that. So what is the plan for that, and what brought that about?
So our two high schools are Entrepreneur High, Fontana, Entrepreneur High, San Bernardino. And last year we piloted having the entrepreneurial mindset all the way to TK up. And so we put in financial literacy at the elementary level. We had a college and career readiness course at the middle school level, and we are starting to infuse career technical education at the middle school level. And so really the three components of E-mindset was, first, through E-balance, we're going to ensure that the well-being of our students and our staff is at the center of every decision that we make. And that means that we lead with compassion. We create environments where mental health is prioritized. And we also make room for both academic excellence and emotional growth. And then the second part of our component of our E-mindset is E-knowledge. And that drives how we teach, how we learn, how we lead. And then we're just really committed to equipping our students with the academic skills, real world tools, because we are thinking about critical thinking abilities that they need to thrive and not just pass a test, but truly learn and grow. And then the last component is E-futures. And that just reminds us that we're preparing students not just for graduation, but for what comes next, whether that's college, career, or entrepreneurship. We're building pathways that open doors and create opportunity.
Awesome. That is fantastic. I love that. So much of education and so many people that I've talked to, it's really, everybody's really trying to equip their students. They're coming to us to get their education, but it's not the education I had and the education that I love that, because it's, and I'm an entrepreneur. I run my own business, as you know. So it's really an exciting thing. And I've seen, I even talked to one lady, they have their own little business that they're doing. Like the kids are actually running a business from the school. It's really a neat thing. So having that mindset and helping kids to understand real world stuff, the knowledge and what's next, and fantastic. So, where is that? Is it something that you are implementing? Is it where did the conversation start? How did this come about? I'm just curious about that, because it's neat. It's a really an amazing thing. And I'd love to pass that on to our listeners as well.
So it has always been part of the foundation of the organization.
Okay.
And so that's why our two high schools were named Entrepreneur High.
Right.
And we just felt like we really needed to, I guess, reset. And it wasn't my decision alone. It was a group effort. It was a team of leaders. And really it was looking at, okay, what is the mindset that is going to help our kids, our students, really progress. And we've met with industry sector partners, and we've asked them, what is it that you are looking for when you're hiring adults for your positions? And they shared with us essential workplace skills, and so we gathered community, industry sector partners, our own thoughts. We heard from students. We looked at the different pathways that we offer, and we looked at, okay, what is the mindset that we need to infuse, not just with our students, but also with our staff, our employees,
Hmm.
and then make this run through every aspect of our organization.
Right.
Human resources, operations. And so, like for human resources, what do those three components look like in terms of having an E mindset? E balance would be your staff wellness, making sure that
Hmm.
there is help for our staff as needed. E knowledge would be what are the things that you need to know as an employee for this organization, professional development to
Right.
continue to grow your skills. And then what would E futures look like from the human resources lens would be, what's the career ladder within our organization?
Right.
So it's infusing the E mindset in everything that we do. It's being. And then we even went as far as changing even what we call our students. We are calling our students rising entrepreneurs, and the whole point is, get them in, keep them in, empower them, restore them, support them, refine them, and then unleash entrepreneurs when they leave us.
Right.
So we are developing rising entrepreneurs, and it's with those three components that are encompassed by having the E mindset.
Very, very good. That's fantastic. And I'm assuming too, then it's going to flow into when you're recruiting, right? When top talent, when you're looking for teachers, and I'd like to hear about that too, because I know that one of the things that every school tells me is there's not enough. There's not enough teachers. There's not enough. There's always a shortage. But when you have a system where you support people and want them to do well, that's a huge piece that is what's the word I'm looking for? But like gosh, I'm drawing a blank here. Just makes you different, helps you to
Well,
stand out, right?
we've changed our job descriptions.
Okay.
We've
Yeah.
even within the hiring process, we've added questions that represent e-balance, e-futures, and e-knowledge with the e-mindset. We have refined all of revised our pacing guides, our lesson plans to ensure that the e-thinking skills and the e-attributes that we're expecting our students to learn are infused in every single course that they take. And it took a lot of work this last year and into the summer. And then July 21st to the 25th, we're training our new educators that are coming to us. And then the 28th through August 1st, we're training all of our employees. We did a little trailer March 24th, a little intro to kind of let them know e-mindset is coming.
Uh-huh.
And then, we promised them that by the time that they return for their summer PD, we're going to have, everything completed so that you're starting the school year with an E mindset. And we gave them the opportunity back in March. We said, if this is not your cup of tea, then
Yeah.
this is the time to make a decision if this is the organization that you want to move forward with or not, because this is where we're headed.
Mm-hmm. It
And
sounds
and
great.
the E attributes, we took a few days and we got feedback from administrators and from our teachers and from our students as well. What are the values, the E attributes that we want to make sure that our employees, our students, our rising entrepreneurs, our parents, everyone within who has a commitment to the organization, and we came up with growth mindset, self-awareness, relational skills, leadership, and innovation. And those are our 5 E attributes that we're making sure that everything that we do falls under that. And that's considered part of E knowledge.
Right. Right. Yeah. It's fantastic. It sounds like you guys have a really good system in place. It's not just, it's easy to say you have a mission or you have this or you have that, but when you live it, that's when it makes such a big difference. And I've said that many times, and I think I've even said it on the podcast. You can have a mission, you can have a plan, but if you're not implementing it or living it and your team can't tell you what it is, it's not really there. And you guys are systematically taking those steps to make it a mindset, a way of thinking about education, a way of thinking about the students, and it's permeating everything you do. That's fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank
That's a
you.
great thing. I'm excited for you guys. It's um anything that we can do to make it so that the kids come out of education and they have the tools and the knowledge and all of those things and just the hope of a future, right? It's exciting. So that's great. That's great. Yeah. So, along with that, so then um, you have multiple schools, right? I want to make sure
Yes.
we touch on that. And how do you see that? Like, how is it going to flow from one to the other? I want to make sure that we kind of, because you guys have pre-K. Does it start at pre-K to 12th grade?
TK, yes,
TK.
we
Yeah.
we have TK all the way up to 12th grade.
Right, high school. I know you said two, yeah, two high
Yes.
schools, right? Yeah. So how does it look like when you're doing it with the littles? Give our listeners or our viewers an idea of like how do you implement this for a TK, the littles, versus what you're going to do. What you mentioned that you've got some programs going on. So if you could take us through a couple of those so that they can kind of understand how it's being implemented, that'd be great.
Okay. So with our littles, it's really about career awareness. And so
Mm-hmm.
what that looks like is integrating our e-skills. So like at an elementary level with our writing, our analyzing text and data, working in teams, providing feedback, we are going over that with them. And a big part of being an entrepreneur is reflecting. So grades 3 through 5, we're integrating a lot of reflecting time and assignments within that period. And then with our middle school, what does the e-skill integration look like? It's really elementary, what we're doing in elementary, plus prototyping, ideating, storytelling, thinking visually, interviewing. And then at the high school level, it's our elementary, our middle school, plus we're adding interviewing and pitching for the high school. And so that kind of takes you on a little road of what the e-knowledge in terms of e-skills integration looks like. And then we also have feedback integration. And at the elementary school, what that looks like is we're doing data talks with our elementary students. We're looking at our success for all criteria. We have SWAN reading. They're doing independent learning. They're and at the middle school we continue that, but then we also have a rising entrepreneurs period where they're getting information about e-balance, e-futures, e-knowledge. And at the high school level, we also have a rising entrepreneurs period, and our students are required to do a senior defense. The juniors are required to
Oh.
do junior pitches for their businesses. They're learning math through, they have an AI tutor for math. They also have internships and externships. And I mean, there's 4 required courses at the high school level. So that all of our freshmen are taking Entrepreneurship 101. All of our sophomores are taking online design marketing. And that's part of the marketing, sales, and service
Oh,
industry
cool.
sector. And
Mm-hmm.
then our juniors are taking business communication and management. Our seniors are in internship and externship and small business management. So those are our required pathways. And then we also have select pathways, choice pathways like culinary arts, production manufacturing, the education pathway, because there's a shortage of teachers in
Right.
the nation
Yeah.
and in
Yeah, for sure.
California. We
Mm-hmm.
want to have a pipeline. And so then we have partnerships with our local community college as well as our university, California State University, San Bernardino, to have a pipeline for teachers or educators in general, because the education pathway is for teaching, but it's also if you want to become a school counselor or an administrator,
Right.
any position that's in education. because
Yeah.
we are
How do
trying to.
I become Dr. Rose? How do I do that? Right?
Yes,
You did it. You're successful, right? That's a fantastic. And honestly, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but think about that too. It's such an interesting dichotomy to me that, and I'm going a little bit off track here, but you're a female superintendent, and that is not quote the norm, right? I don't know why in a female dominated industry we don't have more female superintendents, but it's just I love that. I love it when I see that because it's like, yes, there's lots of great superintendents that are men, and I don't mean to disrespect any of them, but you know, it just is kind of is upside down to me sometimes in
Mhm.
education that all of the leadership positions end up going to men when there's more women doing the work. I don't, you know, it's just
Well,
interesting. So,
I mean, I'm going to have to appreciate and be grateful towards Real Journey Academies and our two founders, which is Alex Lucero and Jason Roberts, because
also
um,
men, right?
right, but they met with me,
Yeah.
they trusted me, and
Yeah, absolutely.
you know, they allowed for this to happen. At the end of the day, you know, I
Yeah.
did go through an interview process and with staff throughout the organization, but at
Yeah.
the end of the day, they were the ones who did the final approval, and so you know, I just need to be thankful for that. And I've loved every minute that
Yeah.
I've been here since, and
Yeah. And I
I'm
didn't
also
mean
a
to take us
minority
up.
amongst the minority because I'm a
Oh,
Pacific Islander.
oh, wow.
And I've going up through education, I didn't really see many islanders in leadership positions.
Hmm.
And I'm from Guam, which is a little
Oh,
dot
yeah.
in the
Little
Pacific
tiny
Ocean.
dot in the Pacific. Yeah. I know where it
Yes,
is, actually. We actually almost had a school there. So funny. Yeah. Yeah.
yes.
And it's like it's like 12 hours difference in time zone and everything. That's how far out there it is.
But it's
So,
where America's day begins, right? Because we're a
yeah,
U.S. territory.
exactly. Yeah, absolutely. It is a U.S. territory. That's awesome.
Hmm.
Yeah. I love, and I think that in an entrepreneurial, what you're talking about in an entrepreneurial school, to have somebody like yourself in the position of leadership is really neat. And those little girls that are, they, you're a role model. You become a role model. Look what you can do. Look what you can do. You as in, and I'm just talking about the education track, you know, but it's as myself. I mean, it's like I'm a business owner and I'm a female and yes, I'm white, but it's still not easy. You know, it's
Yeah.
still, and it's hard work every single day. Little boys and girls, if you're listening, it's hard work, but it's worth it. It really is worth it. So, yeah. So I
We
didn't
did
mean
a
to take you off
poll.
track, but
Oh,
it's
no, it's
cool.
okay. We did a poll June 16th through the 20th. We had a PD for all of our site admin. And we were looking to see how many of our site admin have either experience in a different industry other than education and
Hmm.
or have their own business. And we found that the balance was actually we have business owners, including myself. I have an LLC. I'm Heart and Mind Consulting, and our assistant superintendent, she also has a business. Our director of instruction and some of our principals and our assistant principals, they started in a different industry completely. They didn't grow up in
Hmm.
education, and then they
Right.
found themselves in education, and they found themselves here at Real Journey because the entrepreneurial mindset, the entrepreneurship, that's what drew them
Hmm.
because of their
Right.
past experience.
Yeah, that's fantastic for sure. Yeah, it's just it's so exciting. It's just I'm excited for you guys to as you continue to grow this program and as you continue to make sure that your branding matches what you're doing. It's an exciting time. So one of the things that I want to make sure that we get to is where can people go if they want to learn more about what's going on at Real Journey Academies?
So they can go to our website. We have a website, and it's realjourney.org. Um, that that tells you about all of our schools, and each of our schools have a website as well. So this is our new image for a rising entrepreneur. Are you able to see that?
Yes, I can. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, and we've named Rowie. This rising entrepreneur's name is Rowie, and that means return on investment because we wanted to keep it with the business acumen. And then on the bottom left-hand side, that's our e-mindset wheel that has the e-balance, e-futures, and e-knowledge encompassed within it.
And can they find this on your website as well? Is there a place where they can find this if they go looking for it?
We are going to release it
Okay.
after July 21st when we have our new RJA educators in house, but we wanted to kind of debut it with them first.
Yeah, oh, of course. Well, and we're about 8 weeks out. So by the time today is June 26th for those of you that are listening. And so this probably will be out by the
Yes.
time this comes out. So it should be the Rising Entrepreneur E-Mindset. And it looks great. And ROI, ROI, right? ROI?
Yes. And I
Yeah.
actually have a chant with the staff. I'm like, E-mindset. And then I go E-knowledge, E-balance, E-futures. Because of the hands and
Neat.
the feet. E-mindset.
Very nice. Very nice. Awesome. Well, Rose, it has been a pleasure to have you on this podcast and to see your passion. And obviously, you've done such amazing things. And Real Journey Academy is going to benefit from all of your passion and where you guys are going. So, congratulations and keep it up.
Thank you. It takes a team. So
It
we
does.
we do this work together, not alone. So I
Yeah,
can't
it's
take all of it.
no, I get that. It does it, but leadership, when you lead by example too, which I see you doing, is really a great thing. And it does. You're right. It absolutely does take a team. I would not be where I am without the people. I always tell people, I have a lot of people that have taken on different roles, and they all make me look really good. So it's definitely not just all me, for sure.
Well,
So
thank you for the opportunity to share our work, and I appreciate you as well. And
awesome.
I respect the work that you're doing, and it's just you're an amazing, you know, person in terms of lighthouse therapy and the work that you do, and I just really appreciate you.
Well, thank you, Rose. I appreciate that. And thanks for being on the Brighter Together podcast because, we really are brighter together.